Hey guys, what's up? If you're running a marathon for the first time, you need to check this video out.
Ryan Little.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Fordy Runs. If this is your first time at Fordy Runs, make sure you smash the pink button that says subscribe on it. That way you'll stay up to date with all our latest running videos, including my marathon training. Don't forget to go to our Facebook page and join our Facebook running community, especially if you are doing a marathon or a half marathon next year. Go to our Facebook page and join our Facebook running community. You'll get loads of support and love and have a bit of a laugh. And check the links below. You can get your marathon training tops and half marathon training tops at the Fordy Run store. And while you're down there, don't forget to vote for Fordy Runs in the 2019 Running Awards. As I said in the opening, this video is for anybody who's doing their first marathon. I've got some wicked training tips for anybody who is doing their first marathon. So let's get stuck in. Right guys, grab a pen and piece of paper because here we go. Tip number one is to get organised. Now I'm not talking about just your marathon training plan. You need to get that anyway. And don't forget to go over to our fordyruns.com page and you can get your free marathon training plan on there anyway. But as I said, this is about getting organised. I'm talking about what you're eating, what you're drinking, when you're sleeping, when you're running, everything. You need to get on Excel and do yourself like a running journal, exactly what you're going to be doing. The more organised you are during this training, the better it's going to be. Seriously, yeah, I write down exactly what I'm going to be drinking, when I'm going to be drinking it during my training runs, what fuels I'm going to be taking on when I'm having breakfast. It might seem a bit OCD, but really, honestly, the more you write down, the more you do like a running journal during your training, the more on top of your training you're going to be. So my top tip for you is get organised. Tip number two is increase your mileage gently. What I mean by that is don't go out and start running 10, 15, 20 Ks when you've not built up to it. You really need to work on that sort of 10% rule and just increase your mileage gently and slowly but surely. Otherwise you're going to get injured and you're going to get problems. I say, so tip number two is increase your mileage gently. Tip number three is have down weeks. It's really essential that during your training plan you have a down week or down weeks. In my training plan I think I've got two. And it's really important that during your training you give your body that sort of chance to recover and chance to catch up with itself. So it's good to factor in some down weeks. Now when I mean down weeks, I mean just reduce your mileage and maybe reduce your intensity. So if you're doing a tempo run or hill run, maybe do, instead of doing those, maybe just do an easy run and decrease the mileage. And then on that long run, instead of going banging out 20k, maybe just do 15, 10k, something like that. But you need down weeks. It is essential that you give your body that chance to catch up and rest. And actually, while we're talking about rest, make sure you get yourself plenty of sleep. Tip number four, I think we're on. I've lost count already, which is not very good, but this tip is important because your immune system's going to take a right beating during this training plan. For whatever reason, your immune system comes under pressure. It's natural, I think, because what you're doing to your body, you're pushing it quite hard. It's if you've not done a marathon before and you're marathon training for the first time, you'll find that you're pushing your body to its limits. So your immune system does take a bit of a hit. So my tip to you is start taking on some vitamin C, extra vitamin C. Start looking at your diet and see where you can get extra nutrients from your food, you know, like salad, spinach, stuff like that, where you can get extra multivitamins into your system. So whether you want to take an extra supplement, it's up to you, but it's really essential that you do look at your diet and you do think about where you can add into those sort of extra vitamins, because your immune system is going to take a hit. Tip number five, focus on your long run. Your long run is the most essential run in your marathon training plan. The long run is the most important run of the week, right? And even if you miss one or two in the week, it ain't the end of the world. The most important run during marathon training is your long run. So focus on that, focus on the quality, focus on your pacing, your fueling, and just put all your real, not energy, but really focus on that. Yes, it's essential that you do recovery runs and you work on your speed and your strength and all that and your stamina. But the long run is the most important. Whatever everybody says to you, the long run is the most important. So focus on quality, focus on pacing, practice stuff on your long runs, and just make sure you get that long run right. Right, I don't know what tip number I'm on, so bear with me, but this one's a good one. Know your long run route. It is essential that you know where you're going, because it's great fun when you go out there and you ain't got a training plan and you just go and get lost, and that's great fun, right? But when you're marathon training and you're focused on pacing and fueling and you're probably getting a bit knackered and you just want to get home, it is really good advice to know your long run route before you go out and do your run. A little tip is to get in the car and work out a route, or get on a bike and go and work out a route. Now I'm lucky, I know roughly my routes around here now because I've been doing it long enough. I know that where I can run 10k, 15k, 25k, 30, 35, all that. I know where I can roughly run them. Go out and work out now what your long run routes are, because it will decrease your anxiety as well. You'll know where you are. You'll be able to focus on essential things like, as I said, pacing and fueling. And if you're a bit under pressure, your mind's playing tricks with you, which it will during marathon training, at least you can say to yourself, right, I've only got to get to the fire station, because I know after the fire station I've only got like 5k left. Stuff like that is essential when you're doing marathon training. So know your long run route. Next tip is hill work and speed work. Now, it's essential that in your training plan that you do some hills and you do some speed work, right? Now, hill work can get overcomplicated. People like to tell you about all these different intervals and stuff that you can do up hills. Personally, I think that overcomplicates things. It's pretty simple, right? Just find a big hill and run up it. It's not hard. Maybe try and find 2 hills that you can run up and down. It is as easy as that. Basically, all I do is on my run, instead of doing a tempo run, I'll go and do a route where there's 2 massive hills and I'll run up them. It is as simple as that. Don't try and overcomplicate your hill runs. Everybody says, oh yeah, you can do sprints up it and come down and all this, you know. But when you're marathon training, try and keep everything as simple as possible. And with regards to speed work, again, intervals are great if you can do them. Personally, I get fed up with them. So what I do is I do a tempo run. One of my runs in the week's a tempo run. And I start a certain, like let's say, working on kilometres, a 5:25 first split. And then I'll try and negative split that all the way down to like 4:40 per kilometre. That is as simple as it is for me. And because I know that that's hard work for me, but at the same time, I'm not like going to die in 5 minutes. So that's what I work on, but hill work and speed work is essential in your training plan. Next tip for you first time marathoners is to get your strength work and core work done. It's a real easy one. Sign up for a yoga class, get down to the gym and do some work in the gym, but you need to do some strength work. It is really important. Right, I've got 2 tips left. Now this one's quite a cool one. Try and find a running buddy. Now, you don't have to find someone who's going to run the 25 kilometres with you or 30 kilometres. What I do is I find someone like my brother-in-law or a mate who then comes out and runs 5k or 10k of the run I'm doing. It kind of breaks it up, so I'll like meet them at some point and they'll just run along with me. I'm going at a slow pace so I can have a chat with them, and then I'll just run those sort of like 5, 10, whatever k with them. And they'll go home and then I can carry on. It just breaks those long runs up, because long runs can be really boring and really lonely. So try and find someone who can run with you. Last tip for you first time marathoners is keep it simple, right? This is my final tip and it's probably the best one. It is just keep everything simple. People can overcomplicate stuff with marathon training. You get a plan, which is basically 3 runs a week. You want to try and do a long run, a recovery run, and you do like a speed and hill work run somewhere, right? It is as simple as that. Don't overcomplicate your marathon training. Like I said in the first tip, I think it was, get yourself your running journal so you make sure you're on track with what you're doing. But really, just keep everything simple and you will smash that marathon training. So guys, that's it. There's my marathon training tips for you first timers. Hopefully they're useful for you. I say the most important thing personally I think is to keep it simple. Good luck with your training. You're going to enjoy it. It's going to be hard work, but stick with it. You're going to love it. But that's it. Don't forget to check these videos out. They're pretty awesome. Check out the stuff below like I said before. Make sure you subscribe. And if you are doing your marathon, get over to our Facebook page and join our Facebook running community, because as I say, we've got some wicked support on there. But that's it from me, and I'll catch you guys later.